Hello everybody, it's Juliet. I hope you're all doing well. Today I'm going to be doing an Art Deco style earring, which is, oops, I just dropped it on the floor, hang on, which is this one. So this is actually based on an earring that I made way back when I first started beading, and I started designing my own. So this has a little bit of modifications to it. My earring that I did back in like 2015 in June, I actually started beading in like 2009, but I didn't start kind of designing until about 2015. It didn't have these two crystals on the end here, and it was more like that. But yeah, it's still on my Facebook page, so that's kind of fun. Anyway, so this is the one we're going to be making today. This is another one that I did, and these are actually the same beads that I used in my original one. So it was like this, except I had, instead of, I think this is a blue zircon, instead of the blue zircon bicone here, I had the Pacific opal. And actually, Pacific opal is probably my favorite of all the colors that Swarovski make. I just love the look of Pacific opal bicones. I don't know why. Anyways, so I really wish I had one, but I don't have any in the 6mm at the moment. I thought I did, but I didn't, so I'm gonna have to place an order. But yeah, so you could do it like this. I've done it where all the seed beads here are all white and with blue accents. I've done it with like fuchsia bicone. You can really make this as colorful or as non-colorful as you want. I'm using a pearl, but you don't have to use a pearl. As long as you use any 6mm round, you can make it like a rainbow if you wanted. However you want to do it, it's up to you. It's a very versatile earring where you can change up the beads, and so for instance here, these are these cube beads. Here I'm using the triangle beads that you can get, and you could also just use plain old 8/0s. The only thing I will say is the 15/0s really should, and the 11/0s, I'm using Miyuki. I don't think it will work with Toho because Toho are bigger. So for these, I would use Miyuki. And then all you need really is a 6mm bicone, a 4mm bicones, and then an assortment of 15s, 11s, 8s, and if you want to use cubes or triangles, or you could just use two different colors of 8, so you could use one color of 8. You can do it any way you want, really. So let's get started. So I'm using a 6-pound Fireline for this, and you're going to need quite a long, a long piece. You're going to need probably 3 feet, and I'm going to leave like a 6-inch tail, I guess, because I'm actually, no, I'm going to leave it a little bit longer. No, I think 6 inches will be enough. Because you're going to be using your tail at the end just to reinforce one part. So we're going to pick up our pearl, and we're going to pick up 10 of our 15/0s. And I have a few like what are they called? Charlottes. I think they're called Charlottes in here. 1, 2, 3, 4. See, that one has a facet on it. I mixed two types of beads together that were the same color, and I didn't realize it. I was just combining bags because I had too many bags, and Yeah, so, but I don't mind, it doesn't bother me. Okay, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So just to recap, 3, 6, 8, 10. Okay, and we're going to push that down and go through the pearl again. Let me just try zooming in a little bit, see if that helps you guys. Okay. And again, we're going to pick up 10 of our it wants to focus on these. So I'm just gonna, I don't know why it does that. It's so annoying. Okay. I'm going to pick up another 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So I've got 2, 5, yeah, that's 10. So again, we're going to go back through the pearl. And then we're going to go all the way around till we get back to where we are, just to join the two halves together. So go all the way around. And I'm actually going to push my tail to the back so I don't have to deal with it. I'm using a size 12 needle because it can be a little bit tricky here. Okay, so I'm back to, so we've joined this half together, but we haven't joined right here yet. So we're going to go through the next 5 beads. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And it'll eventually just kind of massage its way. Yeah, don't worry too much if it's not perfect. As long as you have 20, we'll fix that later. Okay, so we're coming out from the 5th bead, and just keep your tail to the back, and your tail should be at the top of your work. This is super blurry. Hang on. See if this helps at all. Maybe I should clean the camera lens. Is that helping? I think it did a little bit. Okay. So we're coming out the 5th bead on this side. We're going to move forward 2 more beads. We're going to pick up 1 11-0, 1 8-0, and 1 11-0. And then we're going to count back those 2 beads that we moved forward. And we're going to go through those 2 and the 2 next to where our thread's coming out. So we're going through the 2 here before the thread and 2 after the thread. And when you pull it, it should make a unit of right angle weave. Now we're going to pick up 1 more 11-0 and 1 more 8-0. So 1 11-0, 1 8-0, and we're going to go through this 11-0 right here. We're going to count through these two beads, which this thread here is coming out of right there, so I know that those are the two that I need to go through. So like if that's our unit and it's coming out here, so I have to go back through those two and through the next two. Okay. So we're going to do the same thing again. We're going to pick up 111 and 180, and we're going to go through this 11. We're going to go through the two just before where the thread's coming out. So those two there. And through the next two. And again, 111, 180. 111, 180 through that 11, through those two before where the thread's coming out, and then the next two after the thread. Okay, so the two before, the two after. And last time, 111, 180. But this time we're only going to go through the two that are just up until where we're coming out there. Okay, so it should look like this. So now we're going to go up the 11. I'm going to turn this over so I can keep working in this direction. And what we're going to do is we're going to go through our 80. We're going to pick up one of our cube beads, or you can pick up an 8, one of our 8s and one of our cubes. And we're going to go through here again. So we've made another unit. We're going to pick up 2 11-0s, and we're going to enter the next 80. Now what you want to make sure is you're not pulling this too tight, because you want to be able to have that, if those two are touching, it needs to be able to like sit up a little bit. If you pull it too tight, it's going to cause a problem later. So make sure that if you squash those two together, if you're using the cube beads, it's not a problem if you're using 80s, round ones, or the triangles. It's only if you're using cubes. You need to make sure that that is going to sit above the edge of that. Okay, so we're coming out the 80. We're going to pick up a cube, another 80, and a cube. We're going to enter back into our 80. And make sure that we're not pulling too tight here. Okay, and then pick up 2 11-0s. 11-0s and through the next 80. And I just got looped. Hang on. Oh no, I didn't. That's the tail. Okay. and just make sure that your tension is good. Okay. Gonna do the same thing again. Cube, 8/0 cube, and through the 8/0. Pick up 2 11/0s, 2 11/0s. Okay. And again, cube, 8/0. That cube looks weird. Okay, cube, 8/0 cube. Through the 8/0. Check in my tension's okay. Yep. I think it's okay. And then through the next 2. Sorry, pick up 2 11/0s and through the next 8/0. And now we're going to one more time pick up a cube, an 8/0, and a cube, or 3 8/0s, however you're doing it. And we're going to again go through the 8/0 right there. Check your tension is okay. Okay, now we're going to go down through this 11/0. And we're going to go through 5 right here of our 15/0s on our ring, which should just make sure that the one that you're entering is where, so you should have 2 here, and then where this is connected, so make sure that you start at the right bead, otherwise this is not going to be centered. So you're going to go through 5. Okay. And we're going to pick up 1 11/0. We're going to pick up a 6mm bicone, and we're going to pick up 3 15/0s. So we should have 1 11/0, 1 6mm bicone, 3 15/0s. We're going to push all that down. We're going to skip the 3 11/0s. We're going to go through the bicone and the 11/0. And when you pull, it should butt up right against your work there. You might need to do a little bit of adjusting. And then you're going to go up through the next 5 15/0s. So 1 2 3 4 and 5, and then you can tweak the tension if you need to. You don't want it too tight, like, but you also don't want it flapping about. Okay, so now we're going to go up through this 11/0 on the edge, and then we're going to go through the 8/0 and these 2 11/0s that we added in the last round, and up through our cube bead. So we're now going to pick up a 4mm bicone and an 11/0. We're going to push that down. So I'm coming out from this cube and I'm going to go into this cube here. And so we're basically kind of binding those two. Oh, sorry, I forgot. Don't do that. You have to go back down through the 11/0 first. So back down through the, skipping the 11-0, back down through the bicone first. That's what I'm trying to say. Is it Monday? It's not, it's Wednesday, but it feels like a Monday today. Oh my goodness, what have I done now? I've got my tail on the front here and I'm wrapped around it. Okay, there we go. Okay, so I've gone up through the I've added a bicone and 11-0. I've skipped the 11-0 and gone back down through the bicone, and now I'm going to go into the cube bead next to it right here. Okay. And when I pull, what I want to do is get those two to sit nicely next to each other. So you might need to use your fingernail and kind of adjust your 11-0 so that it sits really nicely kind of on the join between those two. Then you're going to go through these two 11-0s, through the 8-0, and through, okay, let's just do that first, through the 11-0s, through the next two 11-0s as well. Okay, again, we're going to go up here. We're going to pick up a 4mm bicone and an 11-0. I'm going to push it down. We're going to go skip the 11-0 and go back down through the bicone and into the 8-0 or cube bead that you have next to it. And then you're going to need to kind of tweak it so that it sits where you want it to sit. Okay. Then we're going to go through our two 11-0s, if I can find the entrance to them. There we go. Okay, through our 8-0 and through the next two 11-0s. Okay. So again, we're going to go up the cube bead. We're going to pick up a 4mm and a 11-0. I'm going to push them down. I'm going to go back through the bicone into the cube bead or 8-0 or whatever you're using. Triangle bead. Get that the way I want it. So it sits where I want it to sit. And then we're going to go through the two 11-0s, through the 8-0, and through the next two 11-0s. One more time, up through the cube bead, bicone, 11-0, down through the bicone, that's situated. Now this time we're just going to go through the two 11-0s and the 8-0 on the edge here. Now we're going to go up through the cube bead that's on the edge. We're going to pick up again a bicone and an 8-0, an 11-0, just like we've been doing. But here we can just skip the 11-0 and go back down through the bicone and the cube bead. So it's not grabbing onto, we don't have to join two together. We're just going down, back down through the same one. So you'll notice we haven't added the one over here yet. We're going to do that in a second. So now we're going to pick up two 11-0s here before we go into the next 11-0, just to fill in this gap, just like that. Okay, and we're going to go down around here through the 5, and we're going to go entirely through, if I can get through that last little 15-0, there we go. Okay, we're going to go reinforce this, so we're going to go all the way back down it again and around the 3 little 15-0s on the end, just to make sure that nothing is going to break or fall apart. Back up through the 11-0. And then back through these 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't know why I can never get through 5 of them in one go. And 5. Okay, so now we're going to go up through our 11-0 in the corner here. We're going to pick up two 11-0s. We're going to go up through this cube. Oh, come on. Stay. Okay. And we're going to pick up our last bicone and 11-0. And we're going to go back down, skipping the 11-0, back down through the cube, through all 3 of those 11-0 seed beads. Okay, so the main bulk of this is now finished. So we have our structure in place, but there's a few points that we need to reinforce. So we reinforce these 2 lines here because if you don't, they can get a little bent out of shape, and so I just want to make sure that they don't lose their shape, because they're the corners, they're kind of the most likely to lose shape. And then we also need to reinforce this bead several times, because if you look at our finished earring, the way I am attaching the earring is with a jump ring through that bead. So I want to make sure that that guy is on really well, okay? So the way that I'm going to reinforce this, because I'm already here, I'm going to go under all the threads here. I'm basically doing a brick stitch. So I'm stitching around the thread. I'm going under all the threads, and then I'm going to go back up through those 3 beads. Okay, but I'm not going to enter the crystal, because if you go into that crystal more than once, it's going to be obvious. Like the reason I'm using white Fireline is so you can't see the threads in there. But if I started going back and forth, then you would be able to tell that this crystal had a lot more threads than the others. So I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to circle back around here. This is a little loose anyway, and because this is an end, he kind of needs to like hug up against his buddies. So So I'm just going to go down, just reinforce that stitch there. And when I come out of this cube, I'm going to work my way until the middle 8-0 on this line. So I'm basically going to go through 2 11s, 1 8, and 2 11s, and into this 8-0 in the middle, so we can reinforce the middle bead. Now if you're short on thread, you can skip this part, just move over and reinforce this side, and you can use this tail, work your way up and reinforce with the tail, because it's actually in the perfect position. And last time was a little short, so that's why I did it, and that's why I left a long tail, but I don't need to this time. I've actually got enough thread. So all right, so I'm coming out the 8-0, so I'm just going to go up the cube through this 8-0, down the cube, and I'm going to just do that another time through the 8-0. Come on. Up the cube, through the 8-0 again. So it's got 3 stitches through it now, which is, you could go around one more time if you really wanted, but you want to make sure you have enough room in there still for your jump ring. So I think that's probably good. And then I'm going to work my way over to the end. But I'm actually going to stop after these 2 11-0s before the 8-0, and I'm going to go around this way because I don't remember, I don't want to, I could go this way, it doesn't matter, I'm going this way. As long as you're not going back into your crystal, you're fine. And then I can shoot down those 3 11s there just to sort of firm them up a bit. Okay, so that's us. We just have to tie off. So I'm actually going to just move down here a teensy bit, maybe. This is tight now. 2 is good. This is why you have to use a thin beading needle. And I'm going to make a loop, and I'm going to make a knot. And then I'm gonna try and get through here if I can. Oh my goodness me, this is super tight. Okay, I made it, yes. I'm not really worried about my, oops, just getting my pliers so I can pull it through. There we go. Okay. I'm not, what did I just loop around? Oh, I didn't. Okay. This is so tight, I'm really not worried about that too much, so I'm just going to try and pull that knot into that bead if I can. And I will cut that thread. And then I just need to tie this off, and then I will show you how to put on the jump ring. Super simple. If I can thread my needle, which I can't, I'm just going to squeeze the end and flatten it a little bit with my pliers. There we go. Now I should be able to get it in. see what I'm doing. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to turn the light on for a minute. Excuse me. I can't have the light on when I'm videoing because it just makes it so glary for you guys, but then I can't see what I'm doing. So, yeah. Yes, I did it. I'm so proud. Okay, turn that light off. Okay, I'm back. I finally got my tail threaded. So all we need to do is tie this off. So we're coming out of the purl right now. So I'm going to, what am I going to do? I think I'll go, I'm going to go through one bead right here. And then I'm going to go up. A really great place. I'm going to show you a great place to tie off your thread. Through here. And through here. I'm just going to tie off. Actually, probably the middle one is not the best place, but oops. Hugging that bicone. Yeah, I probably would do it over there actually. Let's go over and do one over there as well. So just follow the path through the right angle weave. So you can go down there through your two 11 O's. Up here, just gonna tie a knot right there. So you just poke through, go through your loop, pull it down. Okay. And then I'm just gonna run through to the end here and cut it off. Good. Cut that off. Alrighty. Now, so we've got our earrings. We just need to connect our jump ring. So you should have 2 pairs of pliers. I like the bent nose. You can use, needle nose, whatever works for you. I don't really mind. You're gonna get your jump ring. And you're going to wiggle it apart by moving it, twisting it back and forth that way. Hang on, let me see if I can get that a little, if I zoom out it might help. Okay. Alright, so make sure that it lines up nicely. All nice, and it's gonna close the gap once you're ready to do it. Okay, I think that's gonna be good. So now I'm gonna reopen it, and I'm just gonna go through that middle 8O at the top of the earring. And I'm just going to close it up. Give it a squeeze, give it a squeeze. And then I like to turn it around so that the join is inside the bead. And then you're going to get your earring finding, whatever earring finding. If you have a closed earring finding, you can obviously loop it through the jump ring and then close the jump ring. But since mine open, I find it easier to do it this way. I'm just going to twist it open. top on the, wait a minute. Oh, it doesn't matter. I was like, it's backwards. It doesn't matter because the front and the back are exactly the same on this earring. So there is no back and no front, which is great. And close it up. There we go. We have our two Art Deco style earrings. So I hope you have enjoyed this. There's the other colorway again for you to see. I would love to see if you experiment with some different colors or different beads. I would love to see your work. So please, like, you know, if you go on Facebook, Jules and Rose, or if you go to Instagram, Jules and Rose, tag me, post it, tag me, or post it on my page on Facebook. I love to see your work. And if you do make these, you're more than welcome to sell them. Please do, but please, you know, say based on, you know, designed by Juliet Erskine. Don't like pretend that you've designed it, because you know, nobody minds if it's based on a design, you know, designed by somebody else, but they do mind if they think it's illegal. So you know, it's not illegal. I'm quite happy for you to make it, but please just you know, if you could say designed by Juliet Erskine, that would be awesome. And I will see you next time. Bye.